Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today I am again going you to deliver a poem about the brook. The brook means a nala or stream which passes through woods or forests and also flows from the edges of mountains and crosses different ways, makes different sounds and shapes, and lastly joins the rivers. The poet explains us briefly that what is the main meaning of brook. I am again explain to you what is brook. Brook means a nala or a stream which cross through woods, forests, and also flows from the edges of mountains and makes different sounds, makes different shapes, and lastly joins the brimming rivers. So when this brook flows or cross or passes from the forests, it crosses the different villages, it crosses many kinds of bridges, and it makes sounds like chatter and also gives melodious sounds. The human beings feels satisfaction, feels happiness when they observe the different kinds of brooks. The poets the poet describes us that the brook or the water goes forever. It has no end. It is endless. But the human beings may come and they will go to other side. The human beings does not or will not remain forever in this world, but it is only the water in the shape of brook, in the shape of rivers, in the shapes of seas, in the shapes of ponds, which goes, which remain forever in this world. But the human beings is only the natural or living creatures which will go, which will come in this world. Though the poet describes us the different ways, the different shapes, the different sounds of this brook. Brook is that kind of nala or stream which passes through the woods and through the forests and also the edges of the mountains. So I will read again this poem. I come from hunters of coot and harness. Brook, in its own language, explains us that my way is from hunters, and in my lap different kinds of water birds lives there. I make a sudden sally. Sometime I flows in a rush mood, and sometimes I flows slowly and sparkle out among the fern to bicker down a valley. I flows in rushing mood, and lastly I cross the valley. Sometimes I hurry down and cross many kinds of hills. Sometimes I cross different kinds of villages, and sometimes I cross a little town. Sometimes I cross hundreds of bridges, and lastly I joining the brimming river. But the men or the human beings may come and they may go, but I am only the natural creature which will go forever and which has no end. So, this was the poem about the brook. In this poem, the poet explains us what is the brook, what makes the shape, what makes the brook different kinds of sounds like melodious sounds. From these sounds we feel happiness and joyness or satisfaction.